Is Italy headed for a second lockdown? That's our topic for today. Well, it's been a while since I've done a virus update here in Italy, and needless to say, there have been some recent developments, and I want to talk about them today. It is August 2020, but to me it feels like it's March 2020. I'm actually not happy with the current situation here, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason is very simple. I was watching the news this morning, and it seems that the number of cases that are occurring daily here in Italy are going up again. Just this morning, I think we were around 1,000 cases again. It's crazy. I can recall making my first virus video in my car down there, and if somebody had told me that this virus was still going to be here, that I would still be talking about this at the end of August, wow. There is, however, a logical explanation as to why we're seeing these high numbers again, and it's the summertime. What happens in the summertime? Well, people want to go out, and that's perfectly understandable. You know, we wait all year for the warm weather, for vacations, just to get away from home and to go somewhere nice. And when you do that, you're around people. So I think this is the reason why we're seeing cases again. It should be noted, however, that the virus here in Italy has never gone away. Granted, we were able to flatten the curve and to keep the numbers down and to really contain the virus. But as soon as the summertime came around, that seems to be changing everything, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there's still no cure or vaccine for the virus. However, as I've said in previous videos, and I'll still keep saying it, social distancing does work, and we've seen the increase in numbers because we let our guard down, and, you know, mentally we told ourselves, well, the virus is not a problem, it's over really. But I think that people, you know, kind of ignored it. When it's not knocking on your front door, when it doesn't affect you personally, then you kind of forget about it. Well, as we've seen over and over again with this virus, it's tricky and it spreads very easily. To be honest, I'm not surprised that we're seeing this spike in the numbers because this is Italy. You know, in the summertime, people, they go to the beach, they travel, they see family, they see friends. That's great, really. But when you still have a virus that has not been fully contained, then you really need to proceed with caution. You know, you have to make some sacrifices so we can beat this virus once and for all. I've been thinking about it, and I've been comparing the spring months with the summer months, and it's perfectly logical. I think we were able to contain the virus in the months of April, May, because these are not really months where people travel as much as they do now. You know, so when you tell somebody to stay home in a colder month, it's easier to do that than the hotter months, because when it's hot, you want to go outside. Fortunately, though, I do think that this is something temporary. Here's why. This isn't the same as March and April when it was still new, when we were still learning how to contain it and we were still putting safety measures into place, really. I think that once the summer months end, I think that we will be able to once again contain the virus because, you know, people go back to work and they're not traveling as much. We have a newborn in the house. Now, you probably want to hear all about this, but that's not the topic of this video. And the only reason why I'm talking about that, my daughter Laura, is because this actually forces us to stay home. However, I would like to mention, though, with or without the newborn, you know, me and my wife would still be taking precautions. You know, we'd probably still want to travel, but we wouldn't go to places where there's a lot of people. We want to go somewhere quiet, you know, away from the crowds. This actually does partially lead into the next part of the video, and that is the reopening of the schools next month. So the big question is this: are the schools ready to reopen here in Italy in September? Yes, but I have my concerns. According to the Minister of Education, Azzolina, I think that's her name, she says the apertura non è a rischio. The reopening of the schools is not at risk. She's also said that the Italian schools have enlarged the rooms and they have looked for more space to put the students. In essence, if you have a class full of 25, 30 kids, then you can't have that. So they have reduced the number of students and put them elsewhere. She's also said that gloves will be available as well as gel, temperature checks, and everything else that comes with the COVID protection. There are two questions that you're probably asking yourself right now. One, will kids respect the mask rule? Will they effectively wear the mask the whole day? And will they be able to, keep the 6 feet, 1 meter distance? I don't know. I got my doubts about that. On a side note, I'd like to know how some of these schools have managed to split the classes up and to find more space for them. And here's why. Here in Rome, up until a couple years ago, I worked at a few of the high schools here. And I worked in class sizes where there were 25 and 30 kids and every single classroom in the school was already full. So where do you find the space? That's what I want to know. I don't know. I just can't be 100% optimistic about reopening the schools. And here's why. About a week ago, I saw an article on the internet, and it was about a school in Georgia that opened up for the coming school year. The next day, the school sent a letter out saying that a kid had contracted the virus, and as a result, over 1,000 kids are now quarantined. Is that going to happen here and elsewhere? I don't know. In about 4, 5, 6 years, whatever, if there's still a current virus situation, hopefully not this one, but if there's something that prohibits the opening of the schools here, then me as a parent, this is something that's going to affect me directly. I don't have all the answers. I'm just some guy making videos on YouTube and just giving my opinion, really. But I think that the Zoom lessons are going to have to continue. I know it's only a temporary fix, but for now it's going to have to suffice until we can really, really flatten the curve. Well, like I asked at the beginning of the video, is Italy headed for a second lockdown? Possibly. I think that if things continue, if the summer trends continue even after the summer, then I do think it's inevitable. On the news this morning, the governor of Campania, which is the region south of here, De Luca, he said that he's ready to close Campania again. If that's what it takes to contain the virus, then maybe we do need a second lockdown. However, I don't think the lockdown should be as long as the first one. And maybe it won't take that long, really, because now, we've lived with it. We know what to expect, and Italy seems to know how to contain it. Well, let's show the world again. That's a very complex question, and I think it would make this video too long. And that's like me trying to answer the question, was 9/11 a conspiracy theory? Who really shot Kennedy? You get the idea. I really can't say, and I don't have the proof whether this virus was well planned out, orchestrated, or if it was simply human error. I don't know. Well, I do want to attempt to end this video on a positive note, despite the seriousness of this topic. And the question is, what can we do? Can we really do something to contain and to not spread the virus? Of course we can. The answer is like any other social problem. Littering, for example. You can't stop everybody from littering, but what you can do is do your part. You throw away your litter. Maybe if you see something on the ground, you throw it away. That way you have a clear conscience. I've done my part. Again, it won't cause radical change, but you never know if it could cause a domino effect. Maybe somebody sees you acting responsibly, maybe somebody who looks up to you, and then that. As far as the virus is concerned, I will do just that. I will not put myself into situations where I'm around a lot of people. If I go indoors, I'll wear my mask. In fact, that's the one thing I like about Rome here. You still have to wear your mask when you go indoors. So, also, you need to look at the virus objectively. You need to think of it in logical terms. If I wear a mask, then I'm protected. If I stay away from people, then I'm protected. And that's how I look at it, and not in the sense that somebody is telling me to do it, that I'm ordered to, to live this way. I would be doing this whether the government told me to do it or not. It's my health. If I haven't got health, I haven't got anything. And I have a new family now, so I got to be there. Hey, everyone. So I was looking at the video that I shot 2 days ago, and looking at it again, I realized that there were a few things that I needed to add. The first one is the latest number of people that have caught the virus within the past 24 hours. And according to local news, this number is about 1,210 people, and 7 people have passed away. So it's a bit worse than I thought. But again, I'm still not worried that this is going to reach the same proportions as March. Another bit of interesting news is from the Minister of Health, Roberto Speranza, and he seems to contradict what I said previously in this video. So despite this current outbreak, despite the scares and everything that's going on with the virus right now in Italy, he doesn't believe that there's going to be a second lockdown or any more red zones. That remains to be seen, so hopefully he's right and I'm wrong. The other bit that I wanted to include in this video pertains to a friend of ours. It's actually a coworker of my wife, but she's also a former student of mine. And she actually caught the virus in the spring. Fortunately, I'm happy to say that we saw her a couple of days ago and she is cured. But it did take her a long time to get over this virus. But you never know how it's going to react, depending on who gets it. It could take you a while to get over it, or you may be completely asymptomatic. And that's the beast that is the coronavirus. Yeah, sorry for the post-lunch bad breath. And something else I wanted to mention, that I've been trying to really work hard to not repeat myself in the videos. What do I mean? I watch my videos, I criticize myself, and sometimes I use the same word repeatedly. And If that's annoying, I apologize, but I'm working on it. Anyway, that's all for today. Do hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Also, make sure you subscribe for more of my future videos. And I really hope that this video made you kind of reflect on the virus and also on your own situation as well. Aside from giving you an update, I made this video today just to kind of remind you and also myself that the virus is still here. You know, it's fluctuated, but it's still a problem, and we need to do whatever we can to safeguard ourselves, our children, and we need to get over ourselves, really. I think that's a big mental shift that we need to do in order to really beat the virus until a vaccine comes out. Keep watching for more future updates, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.